Welcome back, everybody, to the latest UFC pay-per-view preview podcast. This one will be for UFC 210, live from Brooklyn, New York. As normal, joined by the two, one and only. We have Duggy. You can find him on Twitter at California MMA and Dawk at +_Vig. How are you guys doing tonight?
Great. Awesome.
Doing well.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Before we get into the fight card, which Doc and I were talking off air, it's a lot of kind of up and comers, very interesting fights to kind of break down. Let's do a quick recap. We haven't really talked much since 209. Any recent UFC cards on the free cards, UFC 209, even the Bellator cards? Anything that's caught your attention? We'll kick it off with you, Dougie.
Not really. It's just been quiet, so I've kind of I haven't paid as much attention the last couple of weeks because there hasn't been like a major card or anything. But nothing that I can really think of offhand that's like treating me a certain way.
What were your thoughts on the whole Bellator, like the King Mo fight and everything?
I mean, it was forgettable. I don't know.
I just wanted to hear it.
At this point, I want to see a trilogy just because there's no point to it. like aside from Kamosi Jacare 3, that's the trilogy I want to see the most.
You mean you don't want to see what we saw at 209 Part 3? You don't want to see Woodley Thompson?
Oh, I could do that one too. I didn't think about that. I'm good for another 50, as long as it's for a belt, another 25 minutes.
There you go.
I was there live. That was so rough.
I know. That's why I had to bring it up. We'll get into the other part of that had to be disappointing, but yeah, that was brilliant. Doc, anything recently that's caught your eye on some of these lower cards?
I absolutely love the UFC London main card. I thought it was fucking awesome. I thought it was some great fights, although they were short. I was thoroughly impressed with God, I can't think of his name now. Dougie, help me out. Iceland guy. I bet on him.
Nelson.
Gunnar Nelson was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
That was I mean, he's getting better with every fight, and he's scary. And the way he knocked Joban into next week, and Joban was just like out on his feet, and then he fell, and then he went for the fucking choke as standard usual protocol there. But he was really impressive. I thought Manawa, he's got some heavy hands for sure. So, yeah, I thought that fight card was great. It was very entertaining.
All right, yeah, a lot of good finishes, very entertaining. It just sucked the timing of the day and everything. I couldn't actually sit down and enjoy it too much, but it was a good card.
Yeah.
Dougie, since you were at 209, we know one of the big reasons you wanted to go to 209 did not happen. What are your thoughts on Khabib? What's next for him? Let's talk some Khabib for you.
Yeah, that was a bummer. I did everything in my power to try to get out of my tickets, but I couldn't. Khabib should still get a #1 contender fight. I don't think he should get a title fight, even though that's what he's asking for. But you probably have to move on from the Tony fight. But if there's, I'm sure somebody else will emerge in the next couple of months and get a deserved fight with him. But it's just hard to book that guy on anything now because he just pulls out of literally he probably literally pulls out of like 3/4 of his fights. So it's hard to actually book him in a meaningful spot. He seems to have some like a following, but you can't really do that to Tony again, even though that's the best fight to put together. You can't really give him Connor. I don't think you can really give him Nate because of the same kind of like it's too high profile right now. So I don't know if like Chiesa gets a crack at him or something like that, and he headlines a fight night card or something like that. But it's hard to book him in a meaningful spot until he like does it.
Yeah, Doc. Since Khabib's out, who should Tony be fighting? Do you think?
Oof. Nate Diaz.
Yep.
The only one that makes sense to me, man.
Well, that makes sense for an Anaheim pay-per-view since Nate's just down the street. Just throwing it out there. You know, Tony trains down south in Southern California, right? Doesn't he still train down there? Or is he in Texas now?
No, he's down there.
Yeah, so this seems like the perfect storm. I'm just throwing it out there. That'd be pretty damn awesome. But some other recent news, and it seems to be everyday news, so recent might be an understatement, but Connor Floyd, I'll let anybody take the floor here. Does this ever happen? And if so, should it ever happen?
Duggy, go ahead.
I'm not talking about this.
All right. I'll let Doc talk. We can move on.
No, I got one thing to say. At first, I admit I didn't want it to happen, but if it's gonna happen, and if it's kind of like if it happens, then it happens, and I guess for once I'm gonna root for Conor McGregor. So there.
Yeah, I think I partially know why Dougie doesn't want to talk about it, and I agree with him in the fact that I'm sick of it. He's holding 2 titles, and he's doing this shit. Fight like a man or get rid of your belts. This interim crap's got to stop.
No, I'm just not going to qualify this shit.
I can't argue that either. But we'll move on from that. UFC 211 is coming up in Dallas. It's absolutely loaded. They've announced fights like crazy. Doc, anything since the last time we talked that's really blown up on you?
211, man. God. I can't believe Dos Santos is getting a title shot. I'm looking forward to Hayes and Mighty Mouse on Fox. Why doesn't Mighty Mouse get any pay-per-views, man? What the F? It's like I don't get it, but Joanna against Andrade is going to be great. Maya Masvidal, I cannot wait for. I hope Maya just taps him out very quickly. Alvarez and Diamond, Cejudo and Pettis. That card is effing loaded, man. Wow, sick.
Where is it? Dallas?
It's in
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas.
Jerry World.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome. Jerry World's going to light up for that one. Big time show. Let's move on. Let's get to the meat and potatoes here. This UFC 210 card in Brooklyn. They wanted this to be bigger, or Buffalo. Sorry, I keep saying Brooklyn. I'm an idiot. Buffalo, New York. Brooklyn was the last one that shit the bed. Buffalo. And we have 5 fights on the main card pay-per-view, 4 fights on the FS1 prelims, and 4 fights on the UFC Fight Pass prelims. Not all these fights are going to be attractive, so we won't spend too much time on them all, but we'll kick it off on the Fight Pass, 6:15 Eastern, 3:15 Pacific. I know Doc wanted to talk about this one. We got Janal Lausa, the Demolition Man, versus Magomed. I'm going to butcher names like normal, folks. Facing off Biblitov's 13-0 from Russia, and it should be a hell of a fight. Doc, you wanted to talk about this in the featherweight division. What do you got?
Yeah, this guy Bibilatov is He's a Russian. He's not a Dagestani, but he's from Chechnya. He's a former World Series of Fighting champion. The guy is like he's really, really good, and he's a 500 favorite for a reason. And I'm not going to bet the fight, of course, but I will definitely be watching this guy. This guy's supposed to be the next big thing. I heard about this guy about 2 years ago, and he's a powerhouse, and he'll probably throw Loza around like a rag doll. So if you don't have Fight Pass, find a friend that has Fight Pass, I guess, or something. But yeah, I can't wait to see this guy fight.
You got anything on this one, Dougie?
Yeah, Bibilatov is legit, like blue chip prospect. I'll be honest, I was really impressed with Lauza in his debut, which is kind of like you want to look for a spot to play him here, but I don't think this is the guy. Normally against like another prospect, I'd probably take Lauza here. He had really nice hands, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
But I just like this is going to be like a raping, and I don't, this guy's good. Bibalatov's legit. Like he's probably going to truck this. I think he's a Filipino kid.
Yeah, he's Filipino.
But,
it seems like it's pretty good.
It's gonna be wrestling, and that's gonna be the problem.
Yeah, it's two different styles. You got Lasso as a former boxer who wants to stay on the feet for the most part, and Bib's gonna just want to take it to Pound Town and just work his ass on the ground. And on paper, Bib should just dominate this fight. So I'm on board with all of you guys on that one. Moving on to the women's bantamweight division. If her fighting game is as bad as her nickname, Caitlin Blonde Fighter Chukagin trouble facing off against Irene Aldana. Talk about being original. Blonde Fighter. That's almost as bad as ABC that won the last time, which we'll talk about her later too.
That's
fucking break. Doug, you got anything on this one?
Chikagin's actually pretty good.
You'd have to be with that nickname.
I almost think it's like a play on, like it's like a pun almost. Like I think it's meant to be stupid almost.
They achieved it.
Aldana is good. I think she's a little overrated. I don't really care. It'll probably be a decent stand-up fight. I would just lay on the dog, whoever that is, if I was to play this, which I wouldn't, but
Aldana's the dog around 150 right now.
Yeah, I'd probably play that. But neither one of them are special.
You got anything on this one, Doc?
Dougie's right on both ends. Neither of these girls are special, and I would play the dog. I've actually thought about taking the plus price with Aldana. Chikagian, the last time we saw her, she was getting pretty roughed up by Liz Faber-Carmouche. So,
I'm pretty sure like a fight or two ago, Aldana was a favorite.
She got worked at Invicta, yes.
Against Evinger. Evinger beat her.
Yeah.
But I almost want to say Aldana was the favorite.
Aldana, I think Aldana was the favorite, but I actually watched that Invicta fight yesterday. In her UFC debut, she actually fought a close fight.
Even money.
It was even money. Okay. So
but she's had 4 fights since then, so
yeah, I like Chikagian's not really comfortable on the ground, and I think Aldana's the more active striker. I think she's going to bring the fight to Chikagian, and I think she can make her feel uncomfortable. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to side with Aldana, and I will probably. God, I hope I don't regret betting it, but I might bet it.
Well, it should be an interesting fight. They seem like they're pretty, close to evenly matched for the most part. Should be interesting. Aldana's got more of the power in the hands, it seems like. So there's your angle there. She has 7 first-round finishes, 5 by knockout. So there's something there. Both of them like to finish, actually. But we'll move on to the lightweight division. We have Josh Emmett versus Desmond the Predator Green. Emmett undefeated, taking on Green. Doc, do you have anything on this one?
I have no interest in betting this fight. No interest. These guys are just average, subpar cardio cans.
You got anything?
In my opinion.
You got anything on this one, Dougie?
I think these guys are better than that, but I don't think either one of them are like title guys. But I think they're
not
like
cans. I'm sorry, that was harsh.
Gatekeepery. Emmett's weird because like top. What are they? This is 55.
Yeah, 155.
Yeah, like these guys aren't title guys, but they could be like top 15, like Ross Pearson type guys. And Emmett's weird because I know he's been around the California like local scene for a while, but I don't remember him being like particularly special. And then he got into the UFC and he was like a guy, like he was like impressive and it kind of surprised me. I think him and Desmond Green are very like similar skills, even though they kind of go about it differently. I think they both have like a wrestling background and are decent strikers. Emmett wants to strike. Green wants to kind of wall you. But I think like I think that a fight like this fight going the distance or the over is probably the best angle. I don't know who's going to win, but they're probably winning by decision.
Yeah, it's basically 2 different styles, like you said.
They're both tough, but like they're both wrestler-based guys. So, and Desmond can still strike. So it's like it's gonna be probably like a bad kickboxing wall install type fight.
And Emmett's a minus 230 favorite, so there's that going too.
Yeah, see, I don't know about that. Like, I think if you can get Green as a good number on like a decision win, that's probably a pretty good bet. But
be interesting to check that one out.
I wouldn't recommend betting it.
Okay. The last fight on the Fight Pass prelims, we got Gregor the Gift Gillespie undefeated, taking on Andrew Holbrook. He's 12-1. Looks like, pretty even, but Gillespie's the undefeated guy. Dougie, anything on this one?
Gillespie's going to destroy him.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, he's far better.
What do you got, Doc? I know you wanted to talk about this one.
Oh, man.
You disagree?
A little bit.
Huh.
A little bit. The line says yes, you're right. I just Holbrook's coming off a pretty good win in Australia. And I think if he can keep the pressure on Gillespie and not allow him to set up for a takedown, I think, and not only that, man, like Holbrook's a pretty good scrambler. He's got some sneaky good submissions. I just don't agree with this line. I think it should be like maybe Gillespie is like minus 130.
What is
I
it?
think it's 220 minus 220 plus 180. I just that kind of like it rang. It kind of like my alarm went off a little bit. Like that doesn't look right. I think that's mislined. I think Holbrook opened at plus 130 and now he's up to plus 180. And Gillespie is I believe he's from Rochester, New York, which is right down the I-90 from Buffalo, like, a couple hours, but he'll definitely have the home crowd. I was thinking about taking a shot with Holbrook. I don't know yet, but if it hits plus 200, I'm probably going to play Holbrook small.
Yeah, 9 of Holbrook's 10 finishes by sub. Gillespie likes to wrestle, so the place for most of his fight on the ground could be alive.
Holbrook's a pretty decent boxer. He's got a good boxing background too. So, but I do know that Duggy is right about Gillespie. He hits like a truck, but from what I saw in his last fight, he was very hittable against Blanco or whatever. I forgive me if I got his name wrong, but he got tagged, and he's tough though, and he's a Long Island kid, so he's pretty tough. I think it should be a very entertaining fight. This is actually one of the fights on the card, the whole card, that I'm really looking forward to seeing. I think it's going to be a good one. So,
well, we'll have to see how this one plays out. We got differing opinions, indeed. Let's move on to the FS1 prelims, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. 4 fights on this little part of the card. Kicks off in the light heavyweight division. Both guys ranked number 12 in the division. Patrick Durkin Cummins versus John Blachowicz. This, I don't know. It's going to be really boring and really interesting. Dougie, what do you got on this one?
I can't really see Cummins winning this. I think they're probably pretty even, like, overall, if you had them matched up against the same people. But he's so fragile when he gets hit. He reacts so poorly to it. And Blachowicz is going to try to punch him in the fucking head. I mean, like, this is what we're doing here. And if Durkin, if Cummins gets a hold of him and gets him down, he's probably going to win a round. I don't think he's going to finish Blachowicz. So I think Blachowicz can get back up eventually or get through the round. But I just, I don't know. I've seen, I like really believed in Cummins that his wrestling would come around, but I just don't think that you get through that type of reaction to getting punched in the face this late in life. I think if he was 21 and he reacted that way, I think by the time he was 30 or whatever, he could have got through that. But him being in his mid-30s, I think that's just what happens to him when he gets punched. He just kind of cringes and freaks out a little bit, and then guys finish him. So I would go with Blachowicz here. I don't know the line, but that's
about minus 125.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. That seems like a pretty fair line.
What do you got on this one, Doc?
Yeah, I agree with Dougie. Cummins is a little bit chinny, I guess. And Blachowicz is, because what Dougie said is 100% correct. He's just going to, throw bombs. And this could either be a really exciting fight or a really boring fight. But the fact that I don't think this is in my opinion, not a bettable fight, but I can't lay juice with Blachowicz. So,
I think it's lined correct, but I don't
correct.
think it's a line that I like,
Agree. I agree, Dougie. I agree. I think if you got Blachowicz at like plus money, that would be a no-brainer here. But
plus 100, plus 110. That's, you jump on that. But
yeah, the line is pretty dead on. He's right.
I think if you're gonna take him, probably take him by KO.
Yep,
probably not a bad call.
I can actually look and see what that is real quick. Is it up yet? Blachowicz wins inside the distance is plus 120.
So KO is going to be plus 150.
Yeah, probably about that.
There you go. Find some value in that fight. I like it. Like it a lot. Moving on to the featherweight division, we have Shane Hurricane Burgos undefeated versus Charles Boston Strong Rosa. Burgos is a minus 200 favorite in this one. Doc, you have anything on this?
Yeah. This would be a Rosa or pass for me. I like both fighters. I think Burgos is really explosive, good fluid striker. Rosa's more well-rounded. He has excellent cardio. I believe he is out of the same camp as Rumble. I don't think that Burgos should be a 200 favorite here. And I mean, Rosa is a guy that went. I mean, he gave Yair Rodriguez hell fight. So Rosa's a very good grappler, good scrambler, well-rounded fighter. So Rosa or pass for me, and I'm probably going to pass, but you never know. I might get an itchy trigger finger in that Rosa.
You mean you might get itchy trigger finger to bet a big dog? No, not you. Hey, Duggy, what do you have on this fight?
Okay, I don't remember Burgos. I remember his name, and I associate his name with like a prospect, but I couldn't tell you if the dude is a black dude or a white dude, or if he was a wrestler. Like, I can't remember. I remember him being like athletic.
Yeah.
But that being said, I would have to watch tape on him to get me away from Charles Rosa. Like, I look at this line and I'm like, what? Charles Rosa is a dog like this to a guy that I can't remember? Like, this doesn't make sense to me. So, like, at this moment, I would be, like, almost blindly betting Charles Rosa. So I'd have to really fucking be impressed with Burgos on film to not bet on Rosa here. Like, like Charles Rosa's that guy, like Darren Elkins, that fucking wins this fight. Like, he wins this fight. You know, he like wins like a clear, like, he loses a bad first round and then fucking is a close second round and then dominates the third round, like, for sure. And I don't know anything about this other guy, but that's just how Charles Rosa wins, like, as a dog. Like, I don't know.
Rosa's only got one fight in the UFC. One.
Wait, what?
I mean, I'm sorry. Burgos only has one fight in the UFC. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Burgos.
So, like, I don't remember him, but it's hard for me. Like, Charles Rosa, if he fought 145, if he fought Dennis Bermudez, right? Have they fought before?
No.
If he fought Dennis Bermudez would be like negative 200. So we're assuming this dude is like that? Like, that seems like a stretch. Like, I have to see this guy. Like, this doesn't.
He fought in Albany, I believe.
I just don't.
Which was a forgettable card.
Yeah,
So
I would have to see something impressive out of this kid for me not to bet Charles Rosa here.
All right, should be interesting. We have a big dog, looks like a consensus dog for once, so that we know how those worked in previous podcasts. Move on and see if we have another one here. We have a heavy favorite.
What do we get? Fucking killed on those things or what?
No.
Oh.
No, we do good. I'm being serious. I'm happy about it.
Okay,
by the way, we all like Tamer. By the way.
Yeah,
Tamer
did. Yeah, we
See,
did.
how'd that one go? How'd that one go?
Dan Kelly by decision.
Oh my God.
it was so fucking nice being there, fucking telling people that shit. Like, no, Rashad's gonna lose. Like I got plus 350 on the fucking pasty white dude that looks like your dad. I'm like, watch, he's gonna win, and he did. That was fucking awesome.
That's funny right there. That's funny. All right, we're gonna move on to the welterweight division. We have the number 11 welterweight Cormier, Nigerian Nightmare Usman versus Sean Tarzan Strickland. Usman is a nice hefty minus 335 to minus 340 favorite. And this fight, I think, is a little closer than that, but Usman is favored for sure. But, Duggy, what do you have on this one?
I love Usman. I think he's one of the better prospects in the UFC in general. If they can get around his name, he's like a star in the making. That dude can like speak. He does announcing for like Titan or Legacy or something, and he's like extremely well spoken. And he's just a stud. Strickland is also really, really talented. I think Strickland has what's the word? He's okay with not winning a round as long as he's not losing the round. And I think that can get him in trouble with a guy like Usman, who tries to like distinctly, definitively win his rounds. I guess he could just jab himself to like a decision here.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
But like, I don't think he's going to be able to stop Usman from getting him against the fence.
Agree.
But I don't think I want to lay over 3-1 on that either. But I don't think I would bet Strickland. Like, if this was a little higher, I'd probably bet Strickland. If it was a little lower, I'd probably bet Usman. Where it's at, I'm probably just staying away. But like, Usman's the guy that can hold the belt. Like,
he's good. He
can hold the belt. Like, this guy can do Khabib-ish type things if he gets you down. Like, you are fucked if he gets on top of you. He's kind of like that first Bektik, even though he lost, but like, he's of that caliber, in my opinion.
I remember him on The Ultimate Fighter. He was a beast, absolute beast on there.
Before it, even before it, there was serious hype on him.
On this one, Doc.
I agree. The only way Strickland can win this is exactly what Dougie said: is jab his way to victory, because he does have a nice jab, but I think Usman's gonna grind him up against the fence, take him down. This is kind of a fight. Yeah, I think Usman takes care of business. This is a total stay away. I'm just gonna watch.
All right, the final prelim on the FS1 prelim card in the featherweight division, the minus 400 favorite. We have Miles Fury Jury going up against Mike El Kakui De La Torre. I don't know how he can be El Kakui when we already have a better El Kakui, but to each their own. I saw that earlier. I was just not happy about that. But Jury is a minus 400 favorite. Doc, what do you have on this one?
Totally unbettable fight, and De La Torre is by no means a live dog here. This is kind of I think they made this fight. Jury's on a 2-fight losing streak. He got destroyed by Cerrone. He got destroyed by Oliveira. I think he bounces back here.
When was that?
Oliveira?
The Cerrone fight was in like 2013.
Yeah, I know. Jury hasn't been really that active.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, Alec Cowboy, he fought both Cowboys and he got his ass whooped.
That's not good. The jury's out. Oh, sorry. Dougie, what do you have on this one besides my bad jokes?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Jury is like way more talented. He's long, good jiu-jitsu, good striking fundamentals guy. Not a super great athlete. Obviously very inactive. Hasn't taken a lot of fights. De La Torre is like a pretty like if you saw him hitting mitts, you'd be like, fuck, probably. Like, damn, that guy's explosive and athletic and moves well. But he just can't like quite put it. He's like Russell Doe. Like he can't quite put it all together. But you like look at him, and I bet if you saw him, he's probably a monster in the fucking gym. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if De La Torre fucking knocked him out. Like, just caught him with something clean, and Miles Jury just crumbles. So I think if anything, you bet De La Torre, but I don't have like faith in it. It's more like a puncher's chance type thing because I think he's going to be markedly faster than him in the first round at least. But it's all just kind of getting lucky and catching him type of a thought process.
Interesting. Well, that takes us into the main card pay-per-view. 5 fights, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, and it kicks off with the former Bellator lightweight champion, Will Brooks, taking on the number 9 lightweight Charles de Bronx Oliveira. This could be slightly interesting. Dougie, kick us off in this lightweight battle.
What's
Brooks is minus 255 to minus 270, depends on where you're shopping.
I'd probably bet Brooks. I think he's really good. I think it's one of those things where it's taking a little time to adjust to the UFC. He's still young, and then he had to fight fucking a dude that came in a weight class above him. But Charles Oliveira is not that dude. Like, I don't think there's any way that Charles Oliveira isn't getting pushed up against the fence, and after about a round and a half is getting taken down and just fucking like mangled. Like I think that Will Brooks is like real capable of doing that to him after he kind of breaks him, and Oliveira is breakable. Like I just think that it's the difference of fighting a dude coming down from 170 as opposed to dude coming up from 145.
Very interesting. I heard a gasp on the other end when Dougie said Brooks. Doc, would you enlighten us on your Oliveira stance?
I was very, very close to betting this fight. I was very close to taking Oliveira today, and I didn't do it. And simply for the fact that what Dougie was saying is that Brooks could maul him, but Oliveira is a guy who's lost 3 out of his last 4 fights. His kid is being born very soon, and if he loses this fight, he could be cut. So Oliveira is very capable of catching Will Brooks and catching his neck, in my opinion. Because Oliveira's got some slick jiu-jitsu, and that's no secret, and he's quick. But something's just keeping me off this fight. But I mean, those reasons I just stated, back up against the wall. This is the kind, like, if I'm betting a dog and the guy's coming in, he's lost, however so many fights, and I think he's a live dog, personally. I do, but I haven't bet it yet. Am I going to? I don't know yet, but go ahead, Doug.
Here's my have you ever seen Will Brooks out of position grappling?
Good point.
He doesn't really do that. He's so Will Brooks grappling is like Will Brooks in half guard or in side control. That's
right.
I don't think Oliveira gets to the position he needs to get to with him. If a dude's catching someone, it's Oliveira, but
the thing is, the only thing, Dougie, is that Brooks got worked by Cowboy. Worked. Not Cowboy Cerrone, but Cowboy Oliveira. Worked. Yeah. And I mean, if you can get worked by Cowboy Oliveira, now you're fighting the other Oliveira, you know what I'm saying? It's I just don't think he should be this big of a favorite.
There's a 35-pound difference in those guys.
True. Good point. I haven't bet this fight yet, and something just telling me not to, but I want to, but I'm probably not going to. I don't know. For me, it's Oliveira pass.
And Dougie's all in on Brooks. I love it. Love it. All right, that takes us to the welterweight division. And this one I had to double take when I saw the names involved. One of them I understand so much. We got Thiago Pitbull Alves versus Patrick the Predator Cote. Cote's sitting around a -160 favorite or so. Kick us off with this one, Doc.
Why is this?
I don't know why else is even.
Why is this on the main card? Why is Thiago Alves on the main card?
Oh, just you wait.
Oh.
Fuck, man.
Here we go.
I could not bet Alves. I can't. And you know what? The thing is, I really like Patrick Cote is one of my favorite fighters. And he hits hard. Alves, weight issues. This is just not. I'm not gonna even touch this fight. I'm gonna be rooting for the Predator.
The Predator. Dougie, what are your thoughts on Alves? It sounds like you think a knockout's coming Cote's way.
Oh, no. I don't mean that. I just mean there's a fight later in the card that is, what the fuck is this doing on the main card?
Oh, the next one? Yeah, get there.
Oh, the next one,
I don't even remember exactly when it is in the fucking order, but
that's the next one.
I don't know. These guys have both been around for fucking ever. They're both dinosaurs. They both move around weight classes. It seems like they should be closer to even money, but I don't think I'm going to bet Alves either. This is just kind of a watch and see what happens, and never bet either of these guys ever.
Seems like a good strategy.
I actually bet Cote as a dog a couple fights ago, and he cashed for me. I think he knocked the guy out, if I remember correctly. But Cote hits pretty hard. Yeah. But no, unbettable.
Unbettable, he says. Well, that takes us to the next fight that shouldn't be on the main card, but it is. We have the women's strawweight division. Cynthia Calvillo versus Pearl Gonzalez. Calvillo is a -260 favorite, I believe it is. 270 favorite, whatever you want, whatever your book says. Heavy favorite on Pearl Gonzalez. Dougie, would this be the fight you're talking about?
Yes.
Are we moving on from this fight, Dougie?
Well, I don't know shit about Pearl Gonzalez, and all I know about Calvillo is from her other fight that was like a prelim fight, but then the fucking Khabib fight fell through, so they promoted her to the main card for God knows why. And
she took down ABC.
And now they've put her on the main card again.
A month later.
If like the smart move is to just blindly bet the dog here, right? Because we're like, we know how well the UFC's like pick on this is the guy goes. So but what? Who the fuck is Pearl Gonzalez? Like,
Pearl Gonzalez doesn't even have a record on here. It's pretty bad.
so stupid.
Yeah. What do you got on this one, Doc?
All right. From what I know of Pearl Gonzalez, she's a pretty good striker. She's actually a.
So
she's
it's like worth the dog price. Just
right.
on that.
This is, and Dougie brings up a really good point. This is one of those. I just got a feeling. I don't know what it is. Maybe I can see it, but I can just envision myself taking out my phone on Saturday afternoon and just scrolling through Twitter and seeing Calvillo on every fucking parlay. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. What?
Because
there's always that one guy.
People remember what they saw last, and Calvillo is pretty recent. So
And she looked really good. There's no taking that away.
Yeah, but Amanda Bobby Cooper fucking sucks.
Duggy, it's ABC. We don't call her by her name around here. Very simple.
Dude, she's fucking garbage. Like, what?
Dogger pass.
All I know is this. All I know is this picture. This picture on the UFC fight card. This Gonzalez girl looks like a bad bitch. That's all I know.
She does.
Like really bad.
She does.
She looks piercing. If that counts for anything. Well, let's go to the co-main event. A much more intriguing fight. Probably one or two more fights from the title. The winner might get, Yoel because Bisping will never fight him. He's probably going to fight, Hughes next or something. So you got number 4, Chris, the All-American Weidman, coming off back-to-back knockout losses against number 5, Gegard Mousasi, who's been looking better and better in the UFC recently. Mousasi's around a -120 favorite. I saw Dawk bet him at -115 today. Dawk, tell us why you like Gegard Mousasi.
All right. Let's see. How do I start this?
He's better.
He's better. All I can say is this, and I respect the hell out of Chris Weidman. I really, really do. But I think Gegard Mousasi is a better striker. He's got great striking defense. I mean, you just look at his record and you're like, man, this guy's only 31. He's had like 48 professional fights and he keeps on trucking. And he's just so cerebral. And you get a guy like Chris Weidman and you're like, to me, Chris Weidman was a little bit overrated. And yeah, I understand he knocked out Anderson Silva because Anderson Silva was a jackass the first time. And then it was a freak leg injury. Then he beat Lyoto Machida, who's kind of entering gatekeeper status, so to speak. And then he beat, I forget who else he beat. And then he got his ass handed to him by Luke Rockhold. And Rockhold is a very well-rounded fighter, a true mixed martial artist. Then he got Negan'd by Yoel Romero.
He got the Hitler stomp afterwards.
And we were on Yoel because we love Yoel.
We love the win.
I just think that, man, the line says it all, fellas. The line says it all. And Weidman at plus money, no. Gegard's gonna work him.
I love it. What do you got, Dougie?
Yeah, I think this is going to come down to foot speed, and like Weidman is foot slow, like he just is, and he's got really good timing, and I think that's kind of what gets him by. But I think Doc pointed out that, you know, maybe he beat a fading Anderson Silva and a fading Lyoto Machida, and maybe that's not as impressive in hindsight. I think Mousasi's on. I think people kind of forget about him because he's been around for so long, and it seems like it's his time. I like him here. I think he's gonna win. He could do anything. Like, he could get a knockout, he could get a sub, he could win a decision. It could be a battle. He could fucking take over and just win 30-27. I think it's a wide range of outcome, but like pretty much all of them I see are of him winning.
Yep, I love it. Mousasi's such a good technical fighter. Like you guys said, Weidman almost fights like he has cement in his feet. So Mousasi's going to be able to move around and pick him apart the way I see it, or go to the ground. I'd rather not go to the ground, but I think we're unanimous on this one. This might be our pick of the night. We'll talk later, but Mousasi really good on this one.
Can I bring up another point, Bubba?
Of course you can. I'm just as like a public service announcement. We, in the last pod, Weidman was a favorite against Romero, and we brought up the point that Weidman was coming off neck surgery. And so you're going to bet on a guy against a high caliber mixed martial artist like Gegard Mousasi, and you're going to bet on a guy that's had neck surgery and got knee-gunned. Those kind of, that knee shot he took, that makes you all the more hesitant. And the last thing you want to be against Gegard Mousasi is hesitant. I like it. I like it a lot. Let us take us to the main event of the evening, the light heavyweight championship of the world, assuming DC gets there. Daniel DC Cormier taking on Anthony Rumble Johnson in a rematch of a previous fight between the two. Rumble, about a -120 to 125 favorite. Dougie, take us away.
I respect Anthony Johnson, and I think a lot of people like to make fun of DC because he's kind of corny. But DC is looks like a cornball. Like, I mean, what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah.
But Anthony Johnson won like 20 fucking seconds of that fight, and then he got his shit pushed in. Like, what's that different? Like, what's he shown us that he's gonna do that's like, unless he catches him with the hot one early, like, he's probably gonna get out wrestled and probably quit and give up a sub. Like, how many times do we have to see this? Like, this line doesn't make any sense to me at all. Like, I understand he can knock anybody out and, like, whatever, I'll hedge him first round or him by KO. But, like, who won the last fight? Like, what's changed? What's different? Did DC get worse at wrestling? Like, did he have any trouble with it the first time? Like, I don't get it. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. Like, he should be like -180.
Ooh.
He should. This doesn't make any sense to me. Like, Anthony Johnson knocks fuckers out, right?
Yep.
Did
for a
he
living.
knock? Did he knock him out last? Like, I don't. Like, I just don't. I don't. It's not like he was tagging him and shit. Like, he hit him once, he recovered, and then it was over. But that's how I feel.
It's justified. What do you got on this one, Doc?
To answer your, well, somewhat answer Dougie's question, I think the only reason it's lined this way is because Rumble's been so impressive, and Cormier is getting older. That's my only thing. But if you're going to bet Rumble Johnson, bet him by knockout in the first one, or first round or second round. Because if he goes past the second round, he's toast.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's I've been reading some things on this fight. They're saying they like Johnson more this time because the first time was a late notice against DC. He's training for Jones, but that's two wrestlers you're training for the most part. Given Jones has a much different stand-up game, I get it. But, yeah, if he doesn't finish him early, unfortunately, it's a DC's game. I would definitely, like you guys said, play hedge life, put some money on Johnson early, and DC to win. It's not a bad move.
That's not a bad move at all.
Yeah, anything else on this fight?
No, I haven't bet this fight, and I probably won't.
All right.
I'm going to bet it.
And you're betting DC, it sounds like, correct?
Fuck yeah.
Go on with your
even
bad. Go on with your bad self.
There you go.
I like that.
So there we go. That's the full 13-fight card for now until one or two fights get dropped before the main card shows. Duggy, what are some of your best bets of the night?
I really like DC. I think Gillespie's not a terrible parlay piece. There was an over I liked, I remember earlier. You almost can blindly bet against Calvillo just because it doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't remember if there was another real strong spot, but.
What about you, Doc? What are your best bets?
My best bet's definitely Musasi. I already bet him 2x.
Oh yeah, I like that bet.
Yeah, I already bet
I'll
it.
make that bet.
I bet him today, and it would not shock me if that's the only bet I make on this card.
That's about the only fight that I'm liking, so we're going to have a unanimous Musasi one on this one. Unanimous usually works pretty well in this group, so I like that.
Wasn't there a dog that we all liked?
Yeah, it was
Rosa. I kind of like him. I kind of like Aldana. But and those might be small dogs for me, but like as far as the best bet, I really like Musasi a lot.
Well, there's some parlay pieces in here for sure. Maybe some bid, Usman type stuff. Stuff to look into. Everybody watch Dawk's timeline and Duggy's. They will post their plays as they make their bets as usual. Definitely worth tailing.
It's possible I won't, but that's like a 50-50 if I post my plays. I might just celebrate my wins.
There we go. You're going to live the tout life and post his winners after the fight.
That's what I do.
I love it.
Post my live bet tickets.
Hey, whatever's making you money. That's all that matters to us.
Actually, I don't bet live. I get smashed when I bet live.
Most people do. All right, that wraps up the pay-per-view. After a week or two of kind of slow UFC action, they are back at it after this weekend. Next Saturday, a pretty solid-looking fight night in Kansas City, headlined by Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, versus Reese, and you got Rose versus Watterson, Sousa versus Whitaker, Stevens versus Mochiano. A lot of good undercards there to look forward to, and they keep it going in high gear. We have motherfucker. There we go. We have Swanson versus Lobov fight night on the 22nd in Tennessee. And then we have a couple weeks off before Dallas. Yeah, I don't know how Lobov's – that blows my mind as well. But the next week's fight card again with the Mighty Mouse looks pretty good. Anything you guys are looking forward to there, or do we just wait until UFC 211 in Dallas?
Duggy?
Wait, what?
Is there anything in fight cards that really intrigue you, or should we just wait until UFC 211 in Dallas?
211.
What about you, Doc?
I can't wait for Maya against Masvidal. I can't wait for Aldo and Holloway, and I can't wait for Silva Gastelum.
Yeah, that's some really good stuff right there. It's locked and loaded right now. The only thing I'm waiting for, I don't know if you've heard anything, Dougie, but they still haven't announced a goddamn fight for UFC 214 in Anaheim. It's really bugging the crap out of me.
Typical.
It's making it hard. It's making it hard for me to want to go buy tickets. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, there's a lot of good fights coming up. Keep your eyes peeled. Any last words from you, gentlemen? Dougie, you got any last words?
No, I just hate the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather talk. I think it's stupid. I hate it.
Don't blame you. What about you, Doc? Anything else?
Nope. But I will say this. This card is going to be – this is a weird card. This is definitely a weird card, but it's going to be good, I think. Good
to hear. That'll wrap us up. You can find Dougie on Twitter at California MMA. You can find Doc at +_Vig, and I am at BD Entrick. Should be fun. Check it out. Pay-per-view from Buffalo, not Brooklyn, Buffalo, New York. And thanks for joining us, guys. We will catch you guys next time. This was your UFC 210 pay-per-view pod.